Hey y'all, I'm gonna try my hand at foreclosed again. And I'm stuck in the same spot. Wait and make sure I connect everywhere. As far as I can tell, I'm everywhere. I'm on D Live, Trovo, Rumble, YouTube, and Twitch. Well, that isn't everywhere, but everywhere I'm at. But Twitter. Can I get this full screen? We'll get this started. I'm setting up here for a second. And here we go. I'm stuck in the same rut. I fell into you, and now I'm on my back. I fell into you, and now I'm in your trap.
It was time to run.
Time to run. I like this game though, although I am stuck. Wonder what he does. He has to do something. He has to do something. Hold on just a second. Hold on just a second. I'll see if we can't figure out what to do here. I'll step away for a second. It's not only on the Xbox, it's on PS5 and Switch as well, and the PC. So I've discovered that. Sorry for that long pause. I was watching a walkthrough. I was going the wrong freaking way. I knew something was wrong. I didn't watch the full thing because I'll figure it out the rest of the way myself. But I did see that I went the wrong way. I need to turn when he gets up there towards that dude. You know, this way is how you go. Here we go. Oh God, I'm getting stuck. Come on, Lord, I don't know where to go from here. I went the wrong way. Well, at least I know what to do now. It's going the wrong freaking way. I probably should have watched it all the way through, but I don't like copying. Let's see. He's on his way out.
I'm unlocking the maintenance area. Cross the gate if you want to live.
Oh God, he's squatted. I don't know how to get him up. Come on. We want to live. We want to live. We want to live. There we go. Sorry about that long pause, y'all.
It looks crowded out here. Okay, listen.
He's
I
gotta
know you
help
have
him.
a lot of questions, but I need you to trust me. There's a small cover right in front of the door. Stay down and come out slowly.
Ouch. Where do you go? Which way does he go? Out slowly.
Okay, I can see you again. There is a blind spot under that big turbine. Try to reach it while I look for a way out. Well done. Look at the tank on the right. I'm opening an air vent next to it. Okay, now, reach the lower floor moving into the shaft. Find a safe spot, and I'll be there with a car in minutes. Oh, it's possible something weird may happen with your implants. Just don't worry, okay?
Okay, there's the rest of it. I really like this game. Now we're gonna be like Duke Nukem, I guess. He has to knock it out because he can't go out that way. He ain't going out again, is he? I think I see a place. What does he do here? Is he stuck somewhere where he ain't supposed to be? There we we go. Game's neat. I should like it. I should have just pulled that out and done that last night, but I didn't want to take the time. Woo! Okay. Now let's see where he goes. Where do we go? Where do we go now? Where do we go? I knew I was doing something wrong. Where do we go? Where do we go now? Yeah, I knew last night I was doing something wrong. And it never dawned on me to go over that way.
Something weird may happen with your implants. It was already happening, affecting my whole life.
What does it say? This button? Oh, there we go.
I had never seen something like that. My implants were literally learning from my experiences.
He's out on the streets. Not yet. Where does he go from here? This game is tricky. We're gonna go back down. Something to do with that door. I can't get it to do a damn thing. Unprotected devices can be hacked. The skill is always active. I wonder what you push to hack it. And what you do to hack it. He's crouched again. I wonder what you can do to hack it. Gotta stand in a certain spot? I stand right in front of it and hit the button. I'm getting in front of it. I don't know. I think I'm just going to have to watch a walkthrough on this game before I play it. The thing about this, I don't really want to do that because I'd like to figure it out myself. I already had to do a walkthrough just to see which direction to go. I'll switch to something else for now because it's late. We got a little further in it. Let's go from it to Cyberpunk, and I'll try to get that done and taken care of again. You know, I'm stuck in it as well. May have to eventually watch a walkthrough on that. Here we go. Cyberpunk. One of my favorite games ever.
Hey everyone, feels great to have you back. So then, did y'all hear about that Arasaka aircraft carrier docked in Night City called Kujira or the Whale?
No way.
Apparently the Corp figured it wasn't safe in Japanese waters. Afraid some local fishermen might harpoon it for scientific research.
Aren't those people that
But honestly, it's quite the power move.
made Cyberpunk knew that same woman I knew to
Maybe
tell
Myers will
people
fly a
there's
Rust Bucket B-17
beach
flying
dwells and
fortress
they
over
needed to be
Arasaka
harpooned?
HQ. Ooh, man, that is insensitive. I am so sorry. Where are my manners? President Myers. I mean, of course. Gotta respect the office.
Anywho, I've heard that 100 times. What? Traffic's noisy tonight. It'll be 3 a.m. in the morning. I ain't gonna get on that.
All right, V. Eyes open. Gotta find out where Yorinobu's keeping the relic.
You look like a cut of fuckable meat, are you? I said no.
you shall perish for a good cause. But make yourself comfortable. I need a minute.
Listen in on that conversation, V.
I got that
Could be
color
something
down on
important.
that other game. It's about accurate.
Finish. We shall see soon enough. My father's a tired, visionless old graybeard who thinks nothing will change and he'll live forever in his tiny, frozen bubble. You will listen to this. Sabro Rubas. But make yourself comfortable. I need a minute to finish. We shall see soon enough. My father's a tired, visionless old graybeard who thinks nothing will change and he'll live forever in his tiny, frozen bubble. You will listen to this. Sabro is an adult despot.
Champagne's
utterly
decent.
removed from
The
reality.
taste boosted somehow?
Stuck in some
Just the
fossilized
price.
vision of a world
Same bubbly you'll be
that no
sipping in
longer
real space
exists. Of a world that may never have existed. We have not seen eye to eye for the past 20 years. I am quite sure we want now. Noted. In
Hung up. Go back to when they first start talking. Need to hear the whole thing.
Run. For this, then you shall perish for a good cause. But make yourself comfortable. I need a minute to finish. We shall see soon enough. My father's a tired, visionless old graybeard who thinks nothing will change and he'll live forever in his tiny, frozen bubble. You will listen to this. Sabro is an adult despot, utterly removed from reality. Stuck in some fossilized vision of a world. Utterly removed from
On to the
reality.
other label.
Then you shall perish for a good cause. But make yourself comfortable. I need a minute to finish. We shall show.
I felt her fear.
Like a cut of fuck.
Sure got it under control quick, too.
No. They'll have my head for this. Then you shall perish for a good cause. But make yourself comfortable. I need a minute to finish. We shall see soon enough. My father's a tired, visionless old graybeard who thinks nothing will change and he'll live forever in his tiny, frozen bubble. You will listen to this. Sabro is an adult despot, utterly removed from reality. Stuck in some fossilized vision of a world that no longer exists, of a world that may never have existed. We have not seen eye to eye for the past 20 years. I am quite sure we want now. Noted. Enough. Honey. Perdón.
You can't even get the first part of it. I usually at least got this. Now I'm having trouble getting this.
Then you shall perish for a good cause. But make yourself comfortable. I need a minute to finish. We shall see soon enough. My father's a tired, visionless old graybeard who thinks nothing will change and he'll live forever in his tiny, frozen bubble. You will listen to this. Saburo is an adult despot, utterly removed from reality. Stuck in some fossilized vision of a world that no longer exists. Of a world that may never have existed. We have not seen eye to eye for the past 20 years. I am quite sure we want now. Noted. Enough. Sorry to make you wait. Business can be stupid.
It wasn't long. Not even long enough for me to grow bored. Is everything all right? You seem tense. Edgy.
A moment. It will pass.
I can get to work on that. Just one condition.
You wish to make demands of me.
Only one. Focus on me. Oh, got any candy left? Stuff was pretty fun last time.
Bedroom. Nightstand.
I've got an idea. Be right back.
A moment. It will pass.
I can get to work on that. Just one condition.
You wish to make demands of me.
Only one. Focus on me. Oh, got any candy left? Stuff was pretty fun last time.
Bedroom. Nightstand.
I've got an idea. Be right back.
I'm gonna get caught up on both of these games that I'm stuck in. I'll come back to them later. I can't even get that first part this time. Usually I got to the second part where he's looking at the tablet and I wasn't even able to get that tonight. We'll see if I clean these glasses. If it ain't my glasses, it's my eyes. Unfortunately, I had to go a few days without one of my diabetes pills, so I hope it hasn't affected my eyes. That's usually one of the two places that attacks me. I just hate this new world we live in post-COVID. It sucks all the high heaven. Or should we say all the low hell. Because they have literally turned this world into a living nightmare. Eggs are high. Yeah, I know I'm on the other services. Just telling the truth. Let's see. Oh, I need to get back to this too, by the way. I haven't played it since I don't know when. Let's see what I want to do. Let's play some Forza. I ain't played that in a while. Some Forza. As always, why am I not shocked? Every time I want to play a freaking flipping game, it always needs a flipping update. Rarely ever get to play them because they're always updating. I don't even know what's the use in having some of them. Takes my system all night to update. 99% of the time, I'm not playing a game because it needs an update. If I felt like GTA because usually I get stuck in getting to Sandy Springs or whatever it's called, Sandy Shores. I just want to call it Sandy Springs. Underneath the bridge, an apple's from and animals have. I need to just take some time off and get that punt thing done. I want to do it. There's only 4 songs and 4 acoustics. Gotta start working on that pretty soon. I'll have fun with it. That's gonna mostly be fun. I ain't gonna do no speaking. Well, maybe I will have one anti-government song. Because it's something I left off the other one. Because I didn't want to politicize it. It's going sort of like the GNR Lives. It was 4 simulated live tracks and 4 acoustic tracks. So I'm doing 4 punk songs and 4 acoustic songs. You know, GNR was a big band inspired by punk. If you listen to their sound, some of their sounds are. I mean, you can tell Duff McKagan was punk. You can tell Duff McKagan was a big part of Guns N' Roses, with the exception of Chinese Democracy. I forgot the words. I just know I don't know better. Woo. It was a good album too. I like that album too. Hold on. I'm not in the online. I need to try to play that some too. I don't do the story much. I need to get back into the story. Never knew my favorite off there. It was another one written about a person. I think it was written about Slash. I'm sorry for you, not sorry for me. That was a good song. Pretty sure it was about Slash, and everybody was shocked when Slash actually played it. When he played it for the first time, I saw him yammering about it on the internet. But you know what? It sounded like it could have been a Slash song. It really did. It had that feel to it. Especially when you got to that guitar part. Even though it wasn't him doing it, it sounded like it could be an easily Slash song. They ought to do a live version and put it out on a single. Hear me, Axel? Hear me, Slash? And Duff? If y'all can hear me, record it and do it on a single. I'm sorry for you live, not sorry for me. Boy, he had a beautiful performance today at the yesterday now at the Graceland. This yesterday now is we're 3 a.m. in the morning. That was a beautiful November rain in front of Graceland. It was a sad situation. You don't never want to perform at a funeral, but yet you're honored to play at a funeral. That's the job you don't want to do, but at the same time you want to do it. Because it's always a sad occasion. Because you're burying somebody. You're burying somebody you care about.
Hey, you don't know me, but a connection of mine told me you're the person that people go to when they need some help. And I might need a little backup for a conversation I'm about to have. You see, I gotta explain to some folks that even if a good friend of mine's not around, that don't make it open season down here. Join me at Ace Liquor if you can.
I let it finish this conversation. I don't think I ever let him finish it. But my uncle, which is my daddy's twin brother, they were nine. In other words, they wouldn't just like each other, but they were twins. He was always the guy that sung at the funerals. And then finally, a couple years ago, he had his funeral. But he was always the guy that did the funerals. He did all the family's funerals. He did them all the way from his mother, my grandmother, all the way to his. And they even played his recording. That's what I mean by he even did his own. Because they played his recording. They played his song about the leaves. He used to sing this song about the leaves on the ground at the funerals. And they played it. He even sort of got to sing at his own funeral because they played his tape. So even though it's always a sad occasion, that'd be the kind of, you'd want to do it, but you don't want to do it. And Axel had that look today. When he was speaking. Of course, I think it was not only that, he wasn't expecting to speak. I used to be a terrible speaker. I'm telling you, I started that podcast. I could probably do it now, but in the old days, I couldn't have done it. Because I've sat and I've rattled my jaw and jabbed my jaw on that podcast so long that I can jab on my jaw here. But I don't know if I was up above people, I might be nervous. Because I still hadn't done it in a room. When I'm in my room or in the living room and I'm babbling or in a car somewhere, which is sometimes my podcasts have been on the road and in the car, I'm still to myself. Nobody's around me except for my mom and my sister. I'm used to them, and they're always getting on to me all the time if I'm doing it around them. So, but I'm usually by myself when I speak. I'm not doing it above people. There's nobody around. I'd probably still have trouble addressing a room. I'm sorry for you, not sorry for me. I understand at times I was a pro. I'm going to tell y'all, there's things I don't like about Trump. He was totally anti-Trump. I mean, him and his manager and most of them are pretty much anti-Trump. He overlooked it because he was Axl Rose. But you know something? Even I have my problems with Trump. And like I said in a statement earlier, I don't really expect everybody to be like me. Indeed, I kind of want them to be themselves. On my Twitter, I follow a different breed of different type of people. Like I got conservatives on there. I got a few liberals that I can stand. And then I've got people that's from all walks of life, and then I got gamers, and then I got musicians. And I get to see a little mixture of everything. It's like I was telling today, it's like a box of chocolates. You know, like he Like the guy in the movie, the Forrest Gump, he said it's a box of chocolates. That's how my Twitter feed is. That's why I like it. Because I get to see what different people are thinking. It doesn't, as an old-fashioned liberal, it doesn't offend me.
Thanks.
And now, even on the Trump thing, even though I'm not 100% anti-Trump, there's things he does that bothers me. So even though I was tolerable of their opinions back then. I was even, unfortunately, and I probably shouldn't have been, I was probably a little more tolerant of the vaccines and the mask. I just put my point in there too. I was probably a little too tolerable towards that. But you know something? Here's the way I look at it. If you want to do something, fine, but don't force me to do it. That's me on it. That's me on everything. You see, I want to live my life, but I don't want to give you the same respect to live your life. So that's where I am. That's my thoughts on everything. I seen one of them vehicles I really wanted, but I'm not going back. We're going to try to get there if I can find the best way to it. You see what? You know what's irking me about this right now? Before this mission come up, I was on that highway all the time. And I kid you not, I drive around in circles, trying to get to it. Because if you go the other way, it's a longer way than that other way. The one I was on last night, I kept stopping at the signs. But if I can get on that particular stretch of road, I get there pretty easy. If I go that way through the mountains and all that, over the river and through the woods, I'm going all night. I drove all night. There's a song about driving all night. I don't remember who done it. At the end of the day, I'm probably more liberal than I am conservative. I just don't agree with some of the positions that the liberals have went. So I have to throw my hat into the conservatives because I can't support those things. It's like the Marilyn Manson song. You know, he had that song that was Antichrist. Let's see how it go. Anti-people, now you've gone too far. Here's your Antichrist superstar. He had that song, but he had lyrics in there about, I can't believe in the things. They can't believe in me. Well, I can't support communism. Because even though it looks like it might be good on the surface, because it looks like everybody's taken care of, and it's not really that way. What you have is you have everybody suffering, and then the ones on top are living like kings. And that's what I can't support. Really, though, they're the anti-people. You know what I told people the other day? I was telling people this. You know, here's Marilyn Manson's problem. He's sort of just like us on a lot of things. He hates the same things, but he blamed the wrong people. He blamed Christian America. It ain't Christian America. It's the satanic globalist. You know, there are other Satanists out here that have woken up to their plans and even support us on the other side because they've realized that where they're going. There's this guy called Stick something 666. He puts videos out. He's a Satanist or whatever. But he supports our side. Because he can't support the things that don't believe in him. You know, like Marilyn Manson song, I can't believe in the things that don't believe in me. I can't believe in the things that don't believe in me either. I think we're getting there on that highway. Yeah, I think we are. I'll find out here in a minute. Because we finally got there. I can easily get there when I get on this highway. Anti-people day. If you listen to his lyrics, everybody likes to throw off on the satanic artworks and even getting involved with the piss and all that stuff and the blood. And he did do those rituals and things, probably. He probably was into that. The problem is, here's the problem with people, y'all. You see, sometimes, and the dark side does this, and you think about Luke, and you think about Vader, and you think about the Emperor. Sometimes people can be kind into going a certain way because they have, and Satan appeals to their what they are against. And he comes in there and says, I'm the way. I'm the way. And some people have good intent in their heart, and like they say, good intentions is paved to the road to hell. And if you listen to some of his lyrics, he's against some of the same things that we are. He was exposing the child pedophilia thing in several of his songs. But he was going after it from the church point of view instead of the government point of view. And a lot of his fans gets this, because a lot of his fans, they were molested and stuff, some of them. Them gothic kids. That's what was wrong with them. A lot of them was taken advantage of and abused and mistreated. And he showed them love as an audience. And I've been a part of his audience. Even as a Christian, I went to see him. And I seen nothing at his shows that I didn't see at any of the others. Even though they heavily attacked him. He was just another rock and roll show. I mean, they literally have their fits. And he was just another... That's what my daddy said. He always defended him after he went and seen him. He said, I heard him telling someone on the phone, I thought I was finally going to get to see the worst man in the world. I mean, I was seeing him on the evening news every night. And I thought I was literally going to see Satan. And he said, he wasn't no different than going and seeing Merle Haggard. And he said, I laid back there. I was tired. I worked 3 straight shifts at night. And I laid up there and I went to sleep because I felt like a baby there with him. He was tired. He would have probably stayed up. He was just tired was all. But that's what he said. He said, I felt like comfortable like a baby. And he always defended him. He said, he ain't no bad dude. And I probably should have told the Spider that when I was speaking to him. I did tell him I didn't ever believe in it. But I don't remember if I told him about my father or not. Because, it was live and it was a little 5-10 minute conversation. It wasn't that long. I didn't time it. I probably should have shared his father and my father's tale about how he felt so comfortable with Marilyn Manson he went to sleep. Because he was tired. He did. He worked 3 nights in a row before he had to go to that show. His help pulled out on him, and he was the manager. And when his help pulled out on him, he had to take their shifts. Yeah, that's what he said. He wasn't no different than going and seeing Merle Haggard. He went and seen Merle Haggard when he was a kid. His family all went on a trip and went and seen Merle Haggard. We had tickets to see Merle Haggard, and he died. I was actually going to get to see Merle Haggard. And he begged me to go see Jerry Lee Lewis with him, and I wished I had him. We went all the way out to Memphis. We went 2 times for Hinder. Memphis in the mud, they called that festival. And it was in the mud most of the time because it rained. Well, Jerry Lee Lewis was performing. He said, Philip, that's what they call me, especially him. My mama now calls me Anthony, but they always called me Philip when I was a kid. And I think I've gotten off the long road. We're on a road to nowhere. You want to go over with me and see Jerry Lee Lewis? I said, nah, I come all the way out to see Hinder. Are you sure? Well, I'm going over to see Jerry Lee Lewis, he said. That's the one time, and it's not because I don't love Hinder, and that was a special because they only had so many shows with Austin, the original singer, which is my favorite, by the way. If you ever see me on stage, and I ain't nowhere near him, if you ever see me doing the "How you doing, Ringo, Georgia," or whatever I was doing, turnbuckle. That's where I got it, Austin Winkler. If I had a live influence, Axl Rose and Guns N' Roses, and I've seen him too 4 times. Thank the Lord. You saw Hinder over 30 times. If I ever had a stage influence, it was Austin Winkler. He tripled. I can't move like he used to move, and he's got his issues now. He's had to come back from them. He had some bad issues. He's coming back from them. He's trying to start coming back again. I never could move like him, but I do his stuff. How you doing, Ringo, Georgia? I do it when I go to Helen, or when we do karaoke in Helen, or even in Dalton. How you doing, Dalton, Georgia? I'll do wherever I go. I throw a little Austin Winkler in there. See, go watch some of his videos. You'll see. Look up Old Hinder. Watch how he does. Just hear me out. It's a puppet of a puppet till my heart explodes. I die. I could make it through another of your episodes. Maybe we're getting closer. It's starting to like the country. I'm gonna turn around here. I'm afraid I'm gonna. Damn you. I'm gonna see if this. I know I'm not supposed to turn around the interstate, but fuck it. With one finger. Finger! With one finger! I said, fuck that! This is starting to like Sandy's Shores here, so I decided to take this. I might be wrong. I may have made a mistake. I may have just gotten off in the mountains. That's always my favorite spot, by the way. That's how sort of degenerate Christian I am. I sat and I waited on that to come. And that was always my favorite part. I felt the energy building up. When they got ready to that wood finger, I said, fuck that. Boy, I was waiting on it. I wasn't the only one. I bet that's what all those men like. I bet all those men that used to come to see him, I bet every one of them loved that. With one finger, I said, fuck that. You don't hit me. I'm trying to get to Sandy Shores. And we going because it said straight. I knew it was looking familiar. Let me make sure. I'm making sure I'm following the signs, y'all. And I know I'm stopping in traffic where you're not supposed to stop. And that'd be totally stupid in real life. You wouldn't be able to do that. Okay, we're up to a turn. Let's see which one we take. Well, it's in Grapeseed. If I wasn't trying to take the mission, I'd go to Grapeseed just to see what it is. I may have been there before. I just don't remember. It said there's any for sale garages around here. Bought some money. Sold my car. I'm gonna burn down the trailer park. Shoot those people and then goes out in the yard. I can't live here since you broke my heart. I'm gonna burn down the trailer park. That's a Billy Ray song. Burn it down! Woo-hoo! Jenny Jones don't understand. Marvin Public sure don't understand. I got a can of gas and I'm a dangerous man. Gonna burn down the trailer bar. Shoot those people flamingos out in the yard. People like to pick on old Billy Ray, but he had some good songs. I can't live here since it broke my heart. I'm gonna. They just jealous of him. That's jealous of him because all them women loved him. Every man was jealous of him. That was their problem. They're just jealous of him. I see a place right here. Right here. As the guy said in the, right here in the movie. Whatever that movie was called. I'll see if I can't swap some of his places for a place closer. I don't want to give my main one up, though. My apartment. Shoot them people bingos ass. You don't have enough. Let's see if we can swap this bottom one. No, can't swap the bottom one. You still don't have enough. Well, I can't do that. Dang it. I'm gonna burn down the trailer bar. Shoot them people mingo. Well, we'll just go find it. Out in the yard. I can't live here since it broke my heart. He's kind of far away from him, even though she's in Sandy Springs. Shores. I'm gonna burn down. See, I don't live my life being jealous of other people. See, it didn't bother me any if he liked all the women like him. The women ain't gonna fight over my ugly ass anyway. Jenny Jones don't understand. More puppets sure don't understand. Yeah, that's why they always picked on what they called the pretty boys. The pretty boys are always the ones they all picked on. They kind of did Hinder the same way they did Billy Ray up until they started kicking people's asses live. that album, whatever it's called, the one about American Nightmare, All American Nightmare. Boy, that's one of the hardest albums of the 2000s. Go get it and see what I'm talking about. Running with the devil, running in the cage inside of me, and miss him a little. And they had songs on there like Striptease. Striptease is always my favorite. Jam, 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 jam. You're the wannabe stripper with a microphone. Boom, boom, boom. Another song that's about people, real people. But I'd respect you more if you just took off your clothes, yeah. Boom, 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 boom. You're a dancer teen. Whatever it went. I can't remember. And your daddy had the body make a call for me. Don't get mad at me. I don't want to be the bad man guy, but don't get mad at me. I'm only saying what everybody thinks. No, you ain't no Madonna. No, you ain't no prom queen. Just a prima donna sucking on the paparazzi. Gotta shake that ass cause they know you can't sing. You think that you're the real deal. You're nothing but a striptease. Striptease. Go look it up. It's called Striptease. It's by Hinder. That's one of the hardest albums of the 2000s. Yeah, they used to pick on Hinder until they tried to said it was like Nickelback. Boy, they kicked their asses with that album. You ain't no Madonna, no, you ain't no prom queen. Just a prima donna fucking on the paparazzi. Gotta shake that ass, cause you know you can't sing. You think that you're the do you know the part of striptease? Striptease. Take it off, nice and slow. Take it off my radio. No, you ain't no Madonna. No, you ain't no prom queen. Just a prima donna sucking on the paparazzi. Gotta shake that ass, cause they know you can't sing. You think that you're the real deal. You know the striptease. Decided to be the bad guy. Shit! I love these people out here. Now she's got her a motorcycle. That's what she was really after. Oh Lord, they're shooting at her. Some redneck with a gun shooting at her. Some redneck with a gun shooting at her. Whoa! No, you ain't no Madonna. No, you ain't no prom queen. Just a prima donna fucking on the paparazzi. Gotta shake that ass, cause they know you can't sing. You think that you're the real deal. You're nothing but a striptease. Striptease. Oh, Lordy, I went from Billy Ray to Kendra. Take it out. And then the Axl Rose before then. Nice and slow. Take it off. We think that's about Miley Cyrus. They said Kesha. We were figuring Miley. It might have been about Kesha. It could have been about either one. She was kind of a digital girl too. You know, auto-tune girl. I play with it every now and then, but it's just for a gimmick. Like I did it on my It's So Easy cover. It's so easy. I wanted it to sound like a Kanye song. And everybody's trying to please me, baby. Wow. It's so easy when everybody tries to please. You know, people gives people hell when they try to do covers their own way. But I think if you do a song somebody, I think you should do it your own way. I mean, you got to keep it true to to do it. You got to keep it true to the song. But I really do think you shouldn't try to copy somebody else. I think it should be yourself. Boom, boom. I got the rhythm as close as I could. The thing I was using, it was missing a couple of the keys, so I had to improvise. In other words, the keys were there, they just didn't work. It was a digital platform, and they got her. So I went boom, 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 boom. A couple of the keys are missing. I went and looked up the freaking notes. Programmed the notes in a keyboard thing that you could play the keyboard. I took the notes and played them. Boom, 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 and one of the G's was missing. Boom, 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 boom. So I just made it the best way I could. I see your sister in the sun. That song I actually played, y'all. Bam, bam. It's just digital. It was in a digital thing where you took the notes and put them in the piano, and you played them with your mouse. Bam, bam, bam. And I put it together, mixed it together. Bam, 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 bam. It was missing one. Doom, 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 doom. I forget which part it was missing. So I just did it the best way I could. I really did play my It's So Easy, but I auto-tuned it. But it was called G-Snap. G-Snap was the cheap version of auto-tune. And I Kanye Wested it. I went and looked up what he did, and I did what Kanye West would do to the vocal. I see your sister in a Sunday dress. I wanted to be like Kanye. I don't know why I wanted it. I guess because there's people always attacking Kanye back then. And even I was sort of didn't like him at the time. But I thought, well, I'm going to pay homage to Kanye, even though I don't really like him. Because he's the top thing right now, and everybody hates him. I can't do this song like I want to do it. I want it to have that punkish sound like it really has. But I don't have the ability to play that because I can't play instruments. So I'm going to fucking make this thing like Kanye West. Bum, 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 bum. I used it several other times too. Bum, 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 bum. I see your sister in a Sunday dress. Oh. I added a little bit of Snoop Dogg to it too. I sort of G-funked it. I went in there and found the G-funk stuff and added some G-funk in there. I'm just telling you the song process of that. That one I actually played out. And I'd even wrote Cody about it. Because I wanted a real guitar for it. But he told me. He said, I could do it for you, but it's not going to be in your budget. And I told him, well, I'll figure out something. And I went in there and I made a, at the very end of it, you can hear a auto-tune guitar, or not auto-tune, MIDI guitar. I did it with my mouth. I had this program that you could make mouth sounds with kazoo. And I did it at the very end in a MIDI guitar. Yeah, he used to have a studio where he worked with studio bands, and he would do the albums. And he said, I could do it for you, but it's not going to be in your budget. So I didn't end up getting him to do the guitar. I did that song the best I could, and I actually played it. A lot of my songs, I just take loops, but I played it. Boom, boom, boom. That's why it sort of sounds similar to it. I went in there and looked up the freaking notes. And I don't know how to play on an instrument, but I could program it in the computer. I tried that with other songs, and then I never could do it again. Now these days, if I do a song, I just find a loop that sounds similar and program the loop. But that one I actually played out. I mean, with my fingers on the keys. I remember now you could program the keys in the that program that I was using. You could put the keys into the keyboard, and I played it out with the letters, and then I just mixed it together. Bam, 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 bam. So I actually have played a song before. I mixed it with a Kanye voice. I went in there and found some G-funk sounds. I wanted it to be a Snoop inspired too. You know, I'm a big fan of Snoop. I wasn't a fan of Kanye back then. But for some reason or other, I thought, well, I'm going to pay homage to him even though I'm not a fan. And I went back around in circle. We're back around here. So I'm going to have to go back to Sandy Shores. I pray I'm not going in the wrong direction. I think I am. Damn. I probably ain't gonna get there tonight. So close, but yet so far. No matter from the heart. Forever trusting who we are. And nothing else matters. You know, that's one cool person I got to share a birthday with. James Hetfield. Me and them were born on the same freaking day. Never care for what they say. Never care for games they play. No, no, yeah, yeah. Boom, 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 boom. Every time James Hetfield turns a year older, I turn a year older too. Forever trusting who we are, and nothing else matters. I wish him and Mustang and them would work it out and do something again. I'm praying for y'all. I'm praying, Mustang. I'm praying for it to happen. Y'all need to get back together and do something. Like Kerry King said, y'all, I heard that album last. It's one of the best Metallica albums ever. Forever trusting who we are, and nothing else matters. Yeah, yeah. You ought to Kill 'Em All Part 2, whatever it be. Come up with some cool title for it. And kick ass. Kick ass. Maybe do one tour. At the same time, if you're not too tired, it's been a long deal. Maybe do the Metallica Megadeth tour. And he comes out and he kicks ass with a Kill 'Em All sound. Maybe he just comes out for a few songs or something. Maybe that could do it that way. And then they do a big major tour. And it's Kill 'Em All plus a new album. And then Megadeth plays too. Even they could do it first. Maybe y'all could reverse it around every once in a while. Maybe come up with a deal where one time y'all the headliners and then maybe the next time they're the headliners. If y'all don't want to all just do it as one bin, you ought to look at it though that you don't look at it at anybody. It's a double headline, no matter who goes on early, because you're giving the fans the best show ever. You're giving them Metallica. You're giving them Megadeth. Maybe bring in some Overkill or somebody else to be the opening acts testament. Those great bands of the thrash bands. Bring on some opening acts. Maybe even some new acts. Make some new thrash people. Give them the opportunity of a lifetime to come on there and perform with Metallica and Megadeth. Now, I don't know how it worked, because sometimes the Megadeth fans and the Metallica fans fight about which one's the best. But you are both the best. I'm telling you, you are both the best. I like y'all both. Never play the games they play, yeah. And I know, oh yeah. Boom, 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 boom. I don't even let Kerry King go in there and form a band. Since he's sad about Slayer being gone, he needs to do his own thing. He needs to find him a singer to work with. He needs to kick ass. You hear me, Kerry King? Find you a singer to work with and kick some ass. Yeah. Boom, 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 boom. I'd like to see Slayer back too. Just giving you some ideas here. I think the Metallica fans and the Megadeth fans would appreciate it if it turned out right. I guess at least they have me a good drive and a good conversation. It's sort of like when people go out and they drive around, they're talking on their cell phones. So I'm just talking to the chat here. Whoever I'm chatting with, I ain't sitting in the chat room tonight, so I don't know if anybody's around. But I know people will watch it later on. I'll be getting off here in a few minutes. It's already 4:24. We've been past 4:20. Boy, I sure did go to the streams tonight. I don't know why I go to extremes. I went from Guns N' Roses to Billy Ray Cyrus to Hinda. Now I'm talking about Megadeth, Dave Mustaine, and Metallica. I haven't spoken about Pantera yet. But I just did. Of course, there ain't really much to be said about them. Oh, there is. They're doing a major tour this summer. The tribute. We'll call it the Pantera tribute. Because even Dave the Snake Sabo said that's what it is. He manages down, by the way. I read that this weekend. Oh, Dave the Snake Sabo. You know I'm an old-time fan if I know him as Dave the Snake. We're all the way back to the first album. And I'm privileged to say, out of all the few rock stars that I have been on stage with or met, we met them at the, and my daddy, he brought it up on his deathbed. Rachel Bolin and Dave the Snake Sabo, and of course the guy that's gone now, the one, the cowboy, his name, Solinger. We met him. We spoke to him. And my mama, she told him, Johnny's my favorite singer. He signed her shirt. And I'll never forget it. Both Snake and Rachel get over to her ear and they tell her, Johnny's our favorite singer too. I never forget that, y'all. I mean, I'm going to be honest. Bach was Bach, and he's good. But I kind of like Johnny's attitude. Johnny was kind of a gentleman. He was kind of like a little sweet cowboy, even though he looked kind of tough. He looked like he could be rough. He was a sweetheart. He was a cowboy. He was a gentle cowboy. He liked his beer, and he liked his country music and his cowboy hat. I seen him several times. We got to meet him at one time. I've only met Hinder and Skid Row, actually, and then I didn't meet them myself, but I seen my sister meeting L.A. Guns. We've only actually met two bands. And then I've spoken to some like that were outside and stuff, like when you was at some of these festivals. Oh, and Kopek. I forgot about Kopek. And there was two others that I've met. There's several others. I can't think. Oh, yeah, what was their name? Oh, I still follow them. I met them. What's their name? They got a black dude for a singer. I follow them on Twitter. I met them. I just can't think of their name right now. It's not, what's their name? I've seen them several times while we've seen Hinder. Well, we've seen a bunch of them bands while seeing Hinder. We've seen almost all of them. We saw Stained. We saw a whole bunch of them 2000s bands while they toured with Hinder. We had tickets to the Nickelback or something like that. Or no, what was it? It wasn't Nickelback. It was, what was that band's name? They have a song. Can't be here without you, baby. And they canceled out on me. I can't think of their name. They're big. They got big. I can't think of their name. We saw most of those 2000 bands toward Hinder. I met several of them. Kopech, we got to spend the day with in Ohio where Dimeback got shot. We was there from 3 p.m. to the show ended. They let us in because we was out of town. And that old guy, he saw us standing there. He said, "Show don't start such and such." He owned the place. And we said, "Oh, we know. We're the one. Oh, you're the one I talked to that's from Dalton, Georgia. Come on in," he said. He let us in, and we stayed there from 3 p.m. to the show started. And we saw the sound checks and everything. My daddy even got to have a conversation with the drummer about the Grand Ole Opry, which was funny. Boy, him and my daddy was chatting up about Grand Ole Opry because they liked Jerry Reed. And I'm back around in circle again. Oh, Marty, it's a good one. Yo, mama should have swallowed. My daddy and him chatted Grand Ole Opry. Because they'd listen to country music on the bus. They admitted it. I think they said their parents listened to country music, if I remember correctly. Been a long time now. 2010, I believe. I'd have to go look up my video. I got one on YouTube. I got several on YouTube from that show. I found my saves. I need to go through and see some of the ones. Because, you know, that place was historic in a way. It was sad historic. But it was the place where Dimebag died. And I think his essence came home with me because that's when the 333 started. And I'm going to tell you, right before they announced this tour, I was getting worried. And I even said it on these streams many times. I was seeing the 333 crazy. Like even when we went to go see Hinder, I saw it both the day when we was leaving and the night when we was coming home, so we just had to go further away. My mama got on the long road, so we was on the long road home. And I saw 333 again when we was coming back home. Leaving at 333. And I was starting to get worried. And then when I heard, there's rumors Pantera's going to play for him. There's rumors Pantera's going to do a tour. I said, that's it. Because if you go listen to Vinnie Paul, and I don't know exactly where this interview was at, but there was an interview that I seen and it gave me chills because this was post me seeing the 333. Vinnie Paul told in that video, it says, it don't matter if I'm working on an album and it'd be 3 in the day. I look up, I'll see that 333. Or if it's a night, I will look up. Well, that was happening to me. And I thought, whoa. And it started happening after we went to the Rosa Villa in Ohio. We drove hours to see Kopech. We hadn't had to spend the night. That's how the guy knew. My mama called him. She told him we was coming out of town. She was asking about the handicap stuff. So I had to have a wheelchair. He said, "Oh, we'll be fine. We'll be able to get him in." Then when she told him we was the Dalton, Georgia ones, he said, "Come on in." He remembered that we were that she had called about it before we went. And we got to spend the whole day in there. It was kind of neat. I felt like an A-lister that day, even though Kopech wasn't really what you call a big band. They wasn't a huge band. They was from Ireland. They were on the soundtracks, what was it? The Saw 4. If you go get that soundtrack, there's a song called Love Is Dead. And that's them. Down, 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 down. Everybody got mad at him because I mentioned Kurt Cobain. Radio stations got where they wouldn't even play the song because he mentioned Kurt Cobain. I was one of the first people. I had a radio station back then. And I never forget it. My sister told, they're going to be playing this band called Kopech. And I screamed out, Kopech? I've been playing Kopech. I love that song. That's the first time they opened for Hinder. Then we started going. We seen a couple of their shows of their own shows. We actually went out of our way. Normally, we only seen bands when they played with Hinder. Well, we actually went to see Kopech. And Ohio was one of the places, so we went to see them. Kentucky was the other, I believe. They might have been with Hinder that night. I don't remember. It's been so long ago, I don't remember. But we did see them. Oh yeah, I think it was Atlanta. We went to see them the next time. I'm pretty sure it was Atlanta. I had that big old fat ass wheelchair back then that was heavier, probably heavier than me. I probably would still need it if I had to be on my feet a long time, really long time. But you know something? I don't have the vehicle. We had to replace our van. The new van doesn't have the capability of carrying it. It does. It wouldn't even, you wouldn't even be able to put the hitch on it to carry it. My daddy barely made it with his van. Indeed, we were just at the weight limit when we went. Me and him went over there. He said, "You are barely making it with this thing, but I can put it on here." He says it's too close, but I think it'll be okay. That's what he told us. You see, if you get a hitch on some of them hitches, he warned us. He said you can split the underneath in two of the vehicle, and he said your chair is close to the weight limit, but he says I think that it would be okay because it's still a little under. That's what he told us. The new van, that's a smaller type of van. This old van was a Cherokee Custom, and it was bigger than our new one. We just got a regular minivan now. I just have to use the granny cart and sit down every once in a while if I've ever had to be out somewhere where I had to be on my feet all the time. I've rode around in circles here. I don't know how many times I passed that yellow tunnel. But like I said, I'm gonna get off here in a minute. I'm just finishing my conversation right now. I'm just driving, crying, and talking. I'm not really crying. I just said that because they're a band. We seen them in Dalton last summer. So fly me, courageous. So fly me, courageous. He used to play on a station called 96 Rock all the time. WKLS 96 Rock. I believe KZ106 plays them a lot too. But they are from Georgia. So fly me. Courageous. So fly me. Courageous. Met a few handful of bands, but I am so proud that Skid Row was one of them. Hinder too. I even got a picture with Hinder, and that was for the first time I didn't look like a giant. I was up there with people that was tall as me, and one of them, the bassist, he was taller than me. Now I was fat, but I wasn't a giant. And it felt good to finally look at a picture and not look like a big freaking giant. I stand there right beside Austin Winkler. And I know I was right by Austin. I don't remember who the other two was on my other side over there. I remember I was by Austin. He's the guy that I mostly took most of my stage influence from. And then I met Skid Row. But I hadn't met Bach. We seen Bach. I was proud to see Bach one time. I know Bach's different from me on those opinions too, but see, like I say, I'm an old-fashioned liberal. Now, he still wouldn't like my opinion. He don't like my opinions. Indeed, one time he actually told me I was an idiot. I just let it roll off. I just let it roll off because he's one of my early influence. Him and Axl Rose are some of my early influences. Indeed, Skid Row was probably second to Guns N' Roses when I was a kid, followed by Megadeth, and then later on Nirvana came in there and inched in. Even though Nirvana hated my music, or Kurt Cobain hated my music, I think he would have probably eventually changed his mind eventually, because if you look at Dave Grohl and them now, Dave Grohl and them are all friends. They even made up with Axl Rose and all that. I think Kurt would have too if he'd ever come. He lived long enough to get wise. See, that's the thing. See, when we're young, we're kind of stupid. Then when we get wiser, we realize that we were ignorant in some areas. Then again, he might have just been Kurt Cobain all the way through. You know, John Lennon was. John Lennon was a one of a kind. Mr. Lennon. Mr. John Lennon. He was a one of a kind. And he was a trailblazer even before people like Alex Jones and them were doing it. That's why they wanted rid of him, and I'll shut up there. He was dangerous to their agenda, Mr. John Lennon. I bet if he'd been around now, he'd been speaking out against this stuff. I bet he would have been. Unless they subdued him somehow or Chinatized him, like they've done a lot of the rock stars. I bet a lot of them you're just hearing the opinions they're told to say. I'd be willing to bet. That's why I don't try to get mad too much. Because I think there might be just told to say it and they're just going along to get along so they can keep their money rolling in. Which is important today. Bands have to tour now. It ain't like the old days where you just getting to make it off the contract alone. You got to worry about keeping a paycheck coming. And even though they got plenty of money, you know, the bigger you are, the bigger your amount to live is. And I mean taxes and everything. Let's say even if you live in a certain neighborhood, you got to, that costs us.
I left a snail trail on the bus seat this morning. For real.
She run into the hose. I always like running into the hose. No matter where I go, I see the same hole. There go bringing up Snoop again. Snoop, that's really, it's not really Snoop. It's really Tupac's song. But he was in a big portion of it. And so was Warren G and that other dude. That guy that sung on his album. No matter where I go, I see the same hole. I love that song. It's all about you. Now I've got the rhythm playing it. We're going to end here in a minute. I was going to try to get her home. Which way is the best way home? No matter where I go, I see the same home. Get her a car. And then we'll go home. She's going home, motherfucker. Uh-oh, now she's gonna lose the fucking cops. She's gonna have to go Get away from the kids at Copacos. Oh. Can't hardly drive this car. No matter where I go, I see the same. It's all about you. You don't want to fuck with me. What's that song called? America's Most Wanted. I'm a low rider. You don't want to fuck with me. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, boom, boom. Pop, pop. Boom, boom. That's actually on that Snoop game. I need to get out my 360 again and play the Snoop game again. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, boom, boom. Pop, pop. Boom, boom. Boom, boom, boom. Dun, dun, dun. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, boom. Boom. On death row. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, boom. Boom, boom. Right now I'm not thinking of the rap, but I'm thinking of the riddle. Nobody knows the evils of the hearts of men. You know that beginning? There was this guy in there. I used to really love his voice. Well, he had. Let's try to find his. Can't remember his name. He was in some of Dre's songs. I loved his voice. And the lyric murderer, whatever way he would do it. I loved his voice. He really sounded gangsta to me. He had a gangsta voice. I could have pictured him being a. He had the voice that I would picture a thug would have. And boy, I used to love it when he was on my radio. I wish I could think about what he said. I'm gonna just go listen to Dr. Dre tomorrow. I'm gonna tell you his name next time if I can remember. Because none of his lyrics is coming to me. Oh, she's made it home, but now she's getting killed. I'm just gonna let him kill her here. Then get out and walk home. We're gonna walk on home, boy. Walk on home, girl. Well, let's walk towards them. There we go. Now we're gonna try to go home. Widow. And then let me see which was the best way to go home. Because it always takes you out of the area that it takes you out of. I don't recognize this. Pop, pop, boom, boom. I believe it may be even in that song. The guy I'm talking about. You know, Dr. Dre'd always have a gang of people rapping. Hell yeah! Let's get her a fucking car. So we can get her fucking home. Is that the turd? It sure is. My eyes is wore out. I can't hardly see. Whew. I wore my eyes out. I do that sometimes in video games. I always did. I wear my eyes out where they're not, and they ain't been really that good the past few days anyway. I really need to take some time to put some eye drops in. I don't take the time. I suffer from something called dry eye syndrome. Taco truck! Get taco truck! I can't hardly drive this car here. Cause I ain't getting out and getting another one because she's about home. Well, let's just get out. She's right there. She's at home. She almost got hit by a bus. Now she's on the sidewalk. She don't have to worry about getting hit now. I'll see y'all next time. I know I wasted time there. Just talking. I was trying to get to Sandy Shores. I just didn't make it. I rode around in circles. Whew. Woo. DMX. No, that wasn't him. That's another dude. What was his name? He's on the albums. I loved his voice. There's another dude he worked with too I liked, and he did this on the Aftermath. The song went like this. Shitting on the world, shitting on the world, Lindy Ann. We're shitting on the world, shitting on the world. I love that song. Shitting on the world, Lindy Ann. He had something about was it Genesis or PlayStation or something in there? He had a line in there about gaming. Boom, boom, doom, 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 doom. I don't know how many times I played that throughout the years. That song. Yes, yes, y'all. Jizzy, yo. Yo, yo, yo. I wasn't really a big fan of the Aftermath album, but that song saved it for me. I was always playing that song. I played it even years later. Years after it came out, like in the 2000s, I'd play that. Oh. I'm putting the eye drops in the night before I go to bed. I'm just going to take time. I'm going to tell y'all something strange before I get out of here. Have you ever had a continuing dream that just picked up where the red other one left off? I kid you not, and I hated this dream the first time I had it. I had this dream about this old dude. He wasn't really an old dude, but he was like a dude. He was living in the area. And I kid you not, I had it last week sometime. And then I kid you not, there he come back in the dream tonight. I fell asleep after supper. And it's just right where he picked off, and he had two annoying women with him. And I thought, oh, this dude gets worse. Now he's got two annoying broads I don't like with him. And then my mama comes and knocks on the door. You need to get up. It's going on 1 o'clock. And I thought, oh, thank God I'm out of that nightmare. I'd already had a dream about him once before. And I don't even know who this schmuck is. He's not nobody I've never met in my life. But I had him in two fucking dreams. And it was just like it picked up where it left off from last week. I kid you not, this Sunday. You know, I eat a meal for last meal and I take my last set of medicine. I got 2 pills left over that was really 5 pills because the one medicine is 4 pills. And I have to take food with it. It's a diabetes medicine. It's metamorphin or whatever it's called. And it's the last pill of the day, and she told me I pretty much slept past. I would normally be taking anywhere about 10 to 11. And I slept. That's what I was dreaming when I slept, was him. Again, after having me last week. The old dude, he had dark hair. He wore glasses. But he wore tinted glasses. He had glasses, but he had a tint on them. And I hated this old schmuck. And I hated him last week. Then I turned around and dreamed him again this week. I hope you don't become a regular dream like a TV show, because I don't want to watch that TV show. Don't want to see him ever again. And I hope he ain't real. But to kid you not, I hope he ain't real. I don't want to meet him. And she got her bath, and we will get off here. I'll see y'all next time on another episode of not JCW, APFNS Live, the game edition. Why does our brain do that? Where does all that come from? Is that a real world somewhere, and we just join it when we sleep? Or is it just like a computer? Is it like a video game and it's a simulation in the brain? I don't understand what dreams are. They're weird. Especially when you can pick up and have the dream right where it left off from the last time. There was one dream when I used to have as a kid. I'll say this while I put her to bed in her red succubus underwear. She reminds me of a succubus when she's in that red hair. It was a reoccurring dream. I used to have this room, and later on it was my sister's room. Because my other sister had long moved away, and when I grew up, I took the bigger room. It used to be my room. And I used to have this dream constantly. There was a doorway where I had the Axl. I used to have an Axl Rose picture in '89. 90 is a big old poster. 90 was 90, wasn't 80. It was 90. My sister let me have it. And she got it out of a magazine. You know, he was a big spread. He was sitting up on a chair. He had a Guns N' Roses jacket draped over it, a jacket draped over it. And he was sitting on the chair backwards, and he had a hat on, cowboy hat on. I had him where the dream would happen. I knew I was in a dream that one time I had it because he wasn't on the wall. There was a door there. And then when you opened the door, you would go down a long stairway and go around and around. It was always dark in there, and I'd be going down it. And finally, when I'd get to almost the bottom, I'd never get in the bottom. I'd wake up. I never saw what was in that room. Never, ever. But anyway, that was a paranormal house to begin with. Maybe it was trying to tell me something. I don't know. That house was eerie as shit. It had entities in it. It even had my sister, but I thought he was the devil. My sister had a visitor for 3 days, and he was my mama's brother. And my mama's brother died at 2 with spinal meningitis or whatever. But how we found out who he was is because we knew he was a baby in a dress, which she thought was weird at 2. I'm telling you, my sister knew a boy wasn't supposed to be wearing a dress, and I know it's going to offend some people. My sister knew she was having a fit about him being in a dress. Well, one day my mama pulled his picture up, and my little sister, she points up, she goes, "That's him! That's him! That's him! That's him!" He visited her for 3 straight days, and he was cold as cold could be. 'Cause even though I couldn't see him, I couldn't sleep. Y'all know I've told you I had insomnia. And I was laying awake. I started hearing her talking to somebody. But while she's talking to that thing, it looked like my mama's brother, I get a cold, the coldest cold you ever seen. And I told my mama, that was Satan. That was Satan. I told my mama that. Then later on at my grandmother's funeral, I didn't know the Bible back then. I would, you know what I mean? I know it now, but back then I didn't know it. I didn't grow up in church. I was just calling him Satan because he was cold. But my uncle, no, my uncle, he was a cousin. He's a cousin. Was telling he used to do Ghostbusting. He did Ghostbusting before Ghostbusting was popular. He went on with this guy, and you can look him up. His name was Ralph Emery, and he hosted a bunch of country shows. But one of the things he used to do is he used to host a segment with my cousin on paranormal. My cousin was, after he died, paranormal blew up. But he did it back in the 70s. Like Ghostbusters, the movie and all that. He went to ghost haunted places and investigated them, and he even got on television with it several times. His name was, but Ralph Emery was who he did the show with, I believe. He was known in the 80s as country shows. The 90s. But I was hearing him tell that when you saw a relative or saw an entity that wasn't like, say, somebody dead, it was Satan. And I said, Mama, I told you that was Satan. That's what I yelled out. I was half asleep. But I heard him. I hadn't slept for 3 days when my grandmother died. That was when he was telling that. I woke up, I heard what he was saying. I said, Mama, I told you that was Satan. That's what I did. Mama, I told you that was Satan. Because he was cold. I mean, he was damn cold. And I couldn't see him, but she seen him. She said he glowed in the freaking dark. Little 2-year-old girl. He glowed in the fucking dark. And I said, Mama, that's Satan. Mama, that's Satan. Because he was cold. He was damn cold. He was cold. I'm kind of cold right now, but I ain't got no heat on. I hadn't turned my heater on yet. I usually do that before I go to bed, and I let it warm up a little bit, and then I go to sleep. But anyways, because it starts getting cold, especially at 7 o'clock. I don't know what it is about 7 a.m. 7 a.m. will get really cold. But he was damn cold. We had the heat on. Whatever he was, and I think he was the devil. I really do believe he was Satan. That's like I told my mama when I was a baby. I said, he's Satan. I'll see y'all next time. I know that was a good coast-to-coast AM moment there. Me telling that story. Coast-to-coast is going to be off the air by now anyway. It's 5 a.m. in the morning, baby. I'll see y'all next time.